So how about, instead of creating a big long list of things that, you might feel a little bit bad about at the end of the year when you don't get to them all, you actually begin thinking about what you really do enjoy doing with your horse and, focusing on doing more of that. You see, I think that's a great plan for a new year, and I'm going to talk about it today. Okay, let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Strides podcast. My name is Lorna Leeson. I'm an equestrian coach and trainer. And for the past 9 years now, I know, hey, time flies when you're having fun. I've been helping riders all over the world have better conversations with their horse. And I think this year might just be the best year yet. Okay. So how about, instead of making all these goals and resolutions and lists and, just really making ourselves feel bad at the end of the day, because for so many riders, they get to the end of the year and it's like, no, didn't do that. Oh dear, didn't get that. And the same list that filled us with so much hope and enthusiasm and inspiration at the start of the year is actually the thing that holds us back from moving on to the next year. Let's just scrap it. Forget about it. Who cares? I want you to start really thinking about this year and thinking about what doing it means for you and your horse. And what I mean is that something that when you are actually in the midst of it, you can say, oh my word, we're doing it. And whether that is riding regularly, whether it is going on a beach ride, whether it is going to a competition, whether it is winning a competition, whether it is being able to hack alone, whether it is just being able to ride your horse, it doesn't matter. The whole focus here is to figure out what doing it really and truly means for you. And I mean doing it where it is so exciting and you feel so good about it and your horse is thoroughly enjoying the situation. What is that? And how could we begin to actually do more so that when you get to the end of this new year, the end of 2023, you'll be able to look back and say, we did it. Look, do you see that? That was the year. We did it. And it can be anything, anything in the world, whatever lights you up, whatever inspires you, whatever floats your boat. I think that is a much better way of doing things with your horse. Now, if you're going to step into this and you're going to say, yeah, Lorna, that sounds like a good enough plan. I'm going to follow it. Well, the first part is going to be to commit to it. Now, I do realize that the whole term that you're going to do it and we're doing it can mean so many things to so many people and so many horses. But what I want is for this to be very personalized. This is you and your horse doing you and your horse and doing it to just please yourself and to make yourselves feel good. Who cares about anybody else? It does not matter. This is about you and your horse and working together and doing things together, okay? I want you to really and truly identify what that is. Now, for many people, where you could start with this is to begin thinking about, what does being an equestrian mean for me? For some people, it means having a really deep connection with a particular horse. Maybe it means having great connections with horses in general. It could be down to the level of riding skill for you. Maybe you see people who have more skill working with and training horses. Maybe they are more of an equestrian than others. It could be the amount of time spent that maybe you see no, in order to be an equestrian, I have to actually spend so much time, X amount of time with my horses. It can mean so many different things to so many different people. But what you need to begin figuring out is, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for you to be able to say, I am an equestrian? Okay? And then to be able to start doing that. And I'm going to suggest then making small tweaks. You see, I fell into this trap and I bet you know what it is, and I bet you've also been a little guilty of falling into the same thing. And that is, you have this vision in your head of what maybe being an equestrian is, okay? Or being successful, or I don't know, whatever, okay? You've got this vision in your head of what it is. And if your day-to-day experience does not match that vision, 100%. Like, I mean, they line up together. Like, that's the vision. This is my life. Okay. If you don't have that, you kind of feel like a bit of a failure, a bit of a fraud. You're like, that's not my life. Okay. And it actually holds us back because we end up doing nothing. We're like, well, it's not 100% perfect, so rather we just leave it. But what if you could begin this year just making it 1%, and then throughout the year kind of building percent by percent? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you finish the year on 50%, wouldn't it be better than where you are right now? I think so. And I think that if we can begin to think about these small tweaks that we can make, small little things, and you maybe don't make them all in one day. You can try one thing one day and one thing the next day. It makes no difference, okay? But by just trying different things and by changing things, so as you make things slightly closer to the ideal, okay? So it's like, that didn't quite happen, but you know what? I had the boots on. I had the right boots. The boots were good. My boots felt good. I felt like an equestrian in those boots, okay? Or maybe it's like, I got the saddle. The saddle is there. The rest of it might not be, but I have the saddle. Or maybe it's the trot. You're like, look at the trot. Got the trot. Canter, not so good, but the trot. We've got the trot, okay? Whatever it is. And begin focusing more of your attention on those. Begin noticing the alignments, noticing the things that actually bring you closer to having the full, ideal, completed version, okay? And I want to also mention here, you're never going to have the full thing. It's never going to be there. There's always going to be challenges and little roadblocks along the way. I think it's really important to accept that, to understand that, and then to just keep striving towards it anyway and kind of hold it up there. It's almost like dressage. Have you ever heard of anybody getting 100% in the dressage test? Probably not, hey? But people still continued every day to work towards it. And people don't feel bad about the fact that they don't get 100%. Far from it. They see it as something like, yep, that's the ideal. Okay, I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to keep tweaking. And I think actually that's a great analogy, full stop, because with the dressage test, you probably have movements or parts or pieces that are like really good one day. And then this kind of piece lets you down a little. But then the next day, this thing that let you down might be the very thing that's like, oh, look at that was amazing. And now you have to go back and do a little bit more work to actually bring the rest back up to that. So it's always a balance, but I do think that if we can start making little tweaks, we're going to see all the difference. And I really feel that when we talk about being an equestrian, it all comes down to taking action. Like, we can read all the books, we can watch all the videos, we can buy all the clothes, we can buy all the equipment, we can even have the horse, and we can have the farm, and we can have all the things. But if we're not doing it, if we're not taking action, well, it kind of all falls flat. So that's what I want to encourage you to do this year. I want to encourage you to figure out your version. Figure out what, if maybe 11 months, so let's go to December, 11 months from now, or, this time next year even, that you've gone into the new year, what could you look back on this year that's coming up in front of us now? Let's just fast forward. We'll do a little bit of a leap there, a quantum leap, into, let's say, January 2024. Now, if you're to look back, what would really light you up? What would you say, like, oh, we done it? Like, we done it? Look at us. We did it. You and your horse. What would it be? What would it be for you and your horse? Only you can answer that question. What would it be that you would feel proud and accomplished and satisfied and even contented with, okay? What is that for you and your horse? And how now can you begin to get more of that into your day-to-day rides? I think that's a really important question to ask. And I think that if we can step into the new year with that sort of an energy, that sort of, if you want, an intention, I think it's going to be such a successful new year for you and your horse. Okay, going forward in this new year, I want to make things a little bit easier for you. So what I'm doing is I am going to create a daily riding plan type thing for you to follow. So as you never have a day where you're thinking, I don't know what to do. Okay, so what you can do is you can pop over to stridesforsuccess.com/month. Okay, just the word month. And you'll be able to get the plan for January or February or whenever you're going to listen to this. And what it's going to do is it will give you daily episodes of the Daily Strides podcast. And remember, 9 years, folks, 9 years. Can we just say that? There's a lot of episodes, but stuff that you can actually use each day in your riding so that you can begin to make progress and that you can't just sit there and say, I don't know what to do with my horse today. Now you've got it, okay? So if you pop over to stridesforsuccess.com/month, you can pick that up. Okay, I do hope that this is an amazing year for you and your horse. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to dive into all the things and get back here and get into the podcast again. There was a little break there, hey? But you know what? It was a long year. I felt 2022 was a very draining year. I don't know if everybody else felt that. For me, I was quite happy to see the back of it. It was like, okay, whew, that one's done. So I'm hoping 2023 is going to be amazing for you and your horse and all your loved ones, your family and everybody else. And I look forward to helping you on your riding journey with your horse this year. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I will chat to you soon. Be good. Bye.